Today I am making a meatloaf. It's just a basic, simple meatloaf that most of us have all the ingredients already in the fridge. Maybe you don't have the ground beef, but I did get some ground beef, and I've got 3 pounds of ground beef in my bowl. Now, I'm going to mix this meatloaf all up, and then I'm going to save a portion of it to make some Salisbury steak in my next video. So, let's get started with the ingredients that I use in my meatloaf. I've got 3 pounds of ground beef. I use 1 cup of ketchup. Let's put that in there. Let me get a spatula. I always have a tendency to forget the spatula. Oh, yes. But the first thing you should do, which I always forget this, is to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. So let's do that. And while this is preheating, then our meatloaf will be ready to go in the oven. How's that? Okay, and then I also use 1/4 cup of milk. Let's put that in there. And I use 2 eggs. Now I like to whisk my eggs in a bowl. I want to make sure that the eggs are well mixed up. Because I could have just thrown them in the meat mixture, but I want to make sure that it all gets incorporated very well. So, and I should have used a bigger bowl, but I didn't. As you all know, I've got a lot of my dishes already packed. And so I'm using what I have. So, mixing it up real well. It's not doing too good in this little bowl, but that's okay. So let's just pour that in there. You want to get all of that out of there. I don't like to leave anything in the bowl. Scrape it all out there, and also, if you leave things in the bowl, that's just going down in your sink drain, and that's not good. I'm going to use a half a red pepper. A half. Now this is just about ready. It's pretty soft, so that's why I decided to do a meatloaf today. I need to get rid of all the veggies that I know needs to be used up. Now I know a lot of you just leave the seeds in, but I don't do that. I don't like the seeds. So, got that up there. So, let's go ahead and chop this little half of the red pepper. This all comes together very, very fast. Yes, it does. And I like to cut these up really fine. I don't like big chunks. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a bigger knife so I can kind of mince them up. There's a little seed right there. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, of the red pepper. But I'll tell you, these grandkids don't like peppers. So they will eat it if I go real fine pieces. So let's just cut that up. And we're going to be throwing that in there. Set that aside for right now. And I'm using a half of an onion. Now you could use minced onion if that's what you have. If you don't have an onion on hand. Now I do not saute my onions. I do not. And I'll tell you why I don't. It's because this meatloaf is going to cook for about an hour. And these onions will get cooked. So let's cut this up. Watch your fingers. This is so good. Now I use a roasting pan for my meatloaf. And I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. As soon as we get everything chopped up. I like to cut this up real thin as well. Looking good. It's the first time. This is a sweet onion. First time that these onions hasn't made me cry. So let's put the pepper and the onion in the meat, the ground beef. Look at that. Oh, so good. Now I'm also going to use some onion powder. And I would say maybe a teaspoon. I don't know. I just sprinkle it around. And I turn it over and do it again. Just like this. That's so simple. Now I'm also going to use some garlic powder. Just sprinkle it in there. Do it to your liking. Let's flip it over. We want to make sure we get all of the seasoning in there. Sprinkle some more. Just like that. I'm going to do some pepper. Sprinkle some pepper in there. And some salt. See how this is all coming together so quick. There's a lot of recipes out there on YouTube. Everybody makes meatloaf differently. Now, to that, we are going to add some crackers. And I just judge it. Just crumble it up. You could put this in a bag if you want. And get it real crumbly. Is that even a word? I don't know. Is that a word? But if you don't have crackers, you can use bread. You can use bread crumbs. Tell you what's good is Italian breadcrumbs in a meatloaf. Every time I make a meatloaf, it's a little different. I have made meatloaf with carrots, shredded carrots. I have put potatoes in a meatloaf. And yeah, you don't want to overdo your crackers. You don't want your meatloaf to be dry. So I'm getting my hands in here. Yep. God-given hands, and I'm going to mix this up really well. And I really should have took my rings off, but I didn't. I prefer a green pepper, but I didn't have any, no. But this is going to be so good. Meatloaf. I love meatloaf. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like a cold meatloaf sandwich, you all. It is so good. There's a lot you can do with leftover meatloaf. Sandwiches. You can even take your meatloaf, slice it, fry it in a pan again. Yes, sirree. And you know, I'm going to put just a little bit more ketchup in this. It's a little bit more. I also make a sauce to go on top. And it's a sweet, tangy sauce. So this is going to be good. So I got that all mixed up good. Now let me wash my hands. The ground beef that I'm using is 73%. I do like the fat in my hamburger. So that's why I use a 73% lean. So that meatloaf is ready to be shaped into a loaf. Let's get that up. Sure is. Set this aside. This aside. Clean my mess just a bit. Don't like a mess. Okay, I'm using a roasting pan. And you know, most of your stoves, they come with a broiler pan. What was that noise? I have no idea. Oh, I don't know. Some kind of noise. But your stoves usually come with the roasting pan in your boiler part. But this one, it don't look the prettiest. But I only use this for a meatloaf. And I like to line it with aluminum foil. Easy cleanup. Easy cleanup. It catches all of the oil. Whoop, that was my oven. And just put this on top. It's like this. And we're ready to go. So let's shape. Let's see what we get here. I would get 2 out of this, but I really think I'm just going to do 1 because I do want to make Salisbury steak. So this is, remember, 3 pounds, so I halved it. So I'm only doing a small meatloaf here. And you can take and you can freeze this. Once it's done, you can freeze your cooked meatloaf, or you can freeze it just like this. Wrap it up really good in saran wrap, then wrap it again in aluminum foil, and freeze it. And when you're ready for a meatloaf, it is ready to pop in the oven. Now I like to make a little well in the center, and that's where my sauce is going to end up setting. So we're going to put that here, and we're going to make some sauce. Okay, I do have one here, and we are going to use ketchup. And I should have enough, because I think I'm about out of ketchup. Yeah. But you know what I can do? I can add just a little bit of water to this. And that will stretch it. Sure will. Don't waste nothing. Shake it up. Don't waste. There we go. Look at that. And we're going to add just a tad bit of mustard. A squirt. I do, yeah. And we're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Some of that in there. And we're going to mix this really well. Mix it up. You can see what I'm doing. Mix it up really well. And to that we're going to add some brown sugar. Some sweet and tangy sauce. Oh, so good. I just reach in the bag and pull out just a handful, just like that. Rinse your hand off. Mix this up. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And now I'm just going to put a light coating on my meatloaf, because I will baste this as it cooks. Just a little bit in this well. That's all I'm doing. I don't, because you know, if you put a lot on this, your oven is gonna brown this and get done a lot sooner. So, in the oven, it's gonna go. Now that's gonna go in the oven for 1 hour, temperature at 375. And you wanna check it, because some ovens, you know, their temperatures vary. So I will check that in about 30 minutes and see how it's doing. I will do some more basting and I'll get back with you with that. Okay, it has been exactly 1 hour. So let's see how it's doing. Oh yeah. We just need to baste the top with our sauce. Now I did cover the meatloaf up for the last 30 minutes. And now we're going to baste the top with our ketchup, brown sugar, and mustard sauce. And then we're going to put this back in the oven, uncovered, to let this top get good and brown. Okay, so the meatloaf is done. We're going to take it out of the oven and we're going to let it cool down, and then we're going to cut into it. Look at that, y'all. Yummy, yummy. So we are going to let that cool down. I'm going to transfer this to a platter and we'll do a taste test. Okay, our meatloaf is done. I've put it on a platter And we are going to cut into this and do a taste test, of course. And I don't know about you all, but I love the end pieces. So I'm going to cut the end piece off and do the taste test for you, because I still have other side dishes that I am going to make for this. Oh, you could smell that pepper. And oh, so yummy. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now that's just the end piece. Oh. And I always like to add a little bit more sauce to this. No, I can get my grandson out here. Maybe he could taste this too. I love, love, love the end pieces. And it's still hot and very tender. And you know, for those of you that uses a thermometer to test the meat, it should test out at 160, but I don't ever check the temperature of my meat. I judge it by how it looks. So let's try. This is really good. You can taste the red pepper, all the seasoning, and it could use some more salt, but it's like anything. You know, you use less salt during cooking. And when you bring the food to the table, everybody wants the salt, so that's what you do. It's very good. But what can I say? That's going to make a wonderful meatloaf sandwich. So, I want to thank each and every one of you for viewing my channel. Thank all my subscribers, and I want to thank all my new subscribers, new viewers. Until the next video, remember, always be kind in your words